Leadership is not just about holding a corporate title or occupying a position of authority. It's about inspiring others, driving meaningful results, and creating an environment where people can thrive. While management focuses on the processes, the systems, and the efficiency of an organization, leadership emphasizes vision, influence, and the ability to guide others toward a shared goal. In this first session, we'll begin by exploring the distinction between leadership and management, understanding how these two concepts intersect and where they differ. We'll then take a historical perspective by examining the evolution of leadership theories, highlighting how our understanding of leadership has changed over time, which is very interesting to say the least. And finally, we'll explore the key traits of effective leaders, identifying the personal qualities that consistently contribute to impactful leadership. So let's start by breaking down the fundamental differences between leadership and management. Now, these two terms are often used interchangeably, but they actually represent distinct yet complementary roles within any organization. Now, while they may overlap in some areas, their core purposes and approaches are quite different. Management is primarily about structure, about process and efficiency. So managers ensure that everything runs smoothly, that tasks are completed on time, and that resources are allocated properly. So their role revolves around execution. They establish workflows, they'll set performance targets, and monitor progress to ensure that objectives are met. So think of management as the backbone of an organization. It keeps things operational, it keeps things predictable and under control. Now, leadership, on the other hand, is about vision, inspiration, and transformation. So leaders look beyond the day-to-day operations and they'll focus on the bigger picture. They'll ask fundamental questions like, why are we doing this? And how can we do it better? So leaders inspire their teams by setting a direction, motivating individuals to align with a common purpose, and encouraging innovation. Now, while managers work within established frameworks, leaders are far more likely to challenge the status quo and push for change. Now, a simple way to look at it is this. Managers make sure things are done right, while leaders make sure the right things are being done. So managers bring order to complexity, while leaders will bring meaning and direction to uncertainty. But here's the key takeaway. The best professionals aren't just managers or just leaders. They blend both skill sets. Effective leaders understand the importance of structure and organization, while great managers recognize the power of vision and motivation. A well-rounded professional can oversee processes and ensure that goals are met, while also inspiring their teams, fostering innovation, and encouraging growth. In today's fast-paced and ever-changing world, organizations need both strong management and strong leadership. A company that only focuses on management might maintain efficiency but struggle to adapt and innovate. On the other hand, an organization with visionary leadership but weak management might have great ideas, but they'll fail to execute them effectively. The real magic happens when leadership and management work hand in hand, when vision is supported by strong execution and efficiency is driven by a clear and inspiring purpose. So, whether you see yourself as more of a manager or a leader, the key is to develop both skill sets. Learn how to organize and execute, but also cultivate your ability to inspire and guide others. That balance is what separates good professionals from truly great ones. So with that distinction covered, I now want to take a brief look into some of the theories related to leadership and explore how they've evolved over time. Leadership has always been a fascinating topic, constantly evolving as our understanding of human behavior and organizational dynamics deepens. The way we think about leadership today is vastly different from how it was viewed in the past. Leadership isn't just about being in charge. It's about inspiring, guiding, and adapting to different situations. So let's take a journey through the major leadership theories and see how our perception of great leaders has changed over time. So if we rewind the clocks back 100 years or so to the early 20th century, leadership was often seen through the lens of the great man theory. This idea suggested that leaders are born, not made. So think of historical figures like Napoleon, Winston Churchill, or Abraham Lincoln. The belief was that leadership was an inherent quality and that some people simply had the right mix of charisma, intelligence, and decisiveness. If you had it, you were destined to lead. If you didn't, there was little hope of developing it. The problem with this theory was that it left no room for personal growth or development, and it also largely ignored women and other underrepresented groups in leadership roles. Now, as society progressed and organizations became more complex, scholars began to dig deeper into what makes a good leader. This led to the emergence of trait theory in the early to mid-20th century. Researchers started cataloguing specific personality traits that seemed to be common among effective leaders: confidence, integrity, emotional intelligence, and resilience, to name a few. The idea was that if you could identify these traits, you could predict leadership success. Now, while this theory was a step in the right direction, it still had limitations. Not everyone with these traits became great leaders, and leadership success often depended on much more than just personality traits. By the mid-20th century, scholars shifted their focus from who leaders are to what leaders do. Instead of looking at innate qualities, they examined behaviors. This led to the development of behavioral theories, which were significantly influenced by studies conducted at Ohio State University and the University of Michigan. These studies found that leaders generally fall into two categories: task-oriented leaders who focus on efficiency, structure, and goals, and people-oriented leaders who prioritize relationships, communication, and employee well-being. The key takeaway was that great leaders balance both aspects. They tailor their approach based on the needs of their team and organization. Now, this marked a major shift in leadership thinking because it suggested that leadership could be learned and developed through experience. As leadership research continued to evolve, it became clear that there was no one-size-fits-all approach. This realization led to the rise of contingency theories, which proposed that effective leadership depends on the situation. Some of the most influential models include Fiedler's contingency theory, which argued that leadership effectiveness depends on both the leader's style and the environment, and the Hersey-Blanchard situational leadership model, which suggested that leaders should adapt their approach based on the maturity and experience level of their followers. Now, these theories emphasize the importance of flexibility and the ability to assess and respond to different circumstances. By the late 20th century, the focus of leadership research shifted toward inspiration and motivation. This gave rise to transformational leadership, a theory popularized by James McGregor Burns and further developed by Bernard Bass. Transformational leaders do more than just direct people. They inspire them. They create a compelling vision, encourage creativity and innovation, support personal growth, and lead by example. They don't just manage, they motivate. This theory highlighted the importance of emotional intelligence, ethical leadership, and the ability to foster a shared sense of purpose. Today, our understanding of leadership is more holistic than ever before. Modern leadership integrates elements from various theories to create a flexible, inclusive, and dynamic approach. Leaders are expected to be emotionally intelligent. They are expected to be capable of understanding and managing emotions to build strong relationships. Also, servant leadership has gained traction, emphasizing the idea that leaders should prioritize the needs of their followers and create a culture of empowerment. Authentic leadership, which focuses on leading with integrity, transparency, and a strong commitment to values, has also become increasingly important. Additionally, in a world that is constantly changing, agile leadership has emerged, emphasizing adaptability and resilience in navigating uncertainty. Now, as we look ahead, leadership will continue to evolve. It will be shaped by technological advancements, cultural shifts, and new organizational challenges. One thing remains constant. Leadership isn't just about a corporate title or a position. It's about how you inspire, empower, and adapt to meet the needs of those you lead. Whether you're leading a team, a company, or even just yourself, understanding the evolution of leadership theories can help you become a more effective and impactful leader. Now that we've explored the evolution of leadership theories, Let's turn our attention to the final part of this session, where we'll explore different traits that define truly effective leaders. As we've said, leadership is more than just holding a position of authority. It's about influence, inspiration, and the ability to navigate challenges while empowering others. While leadership styles may differ from person to person, certain qualities consistently appear in individuals who inspire trust, drive results, and build strong, high-performing teams. One of the most critical traits of an effective leader is self-awareness. Great leaders take time to understand their own strengths, their own weaknesses, and emotional triggers. They regularly engage in self-reflection, actively seek feedback, and embrace opportunities for growth. By being self-aware, leaders remain grounded and make informed decisions that align with their values and the best interests of their teams. A self-aware leader acknowledges areas for improvement and works proactively to develop those skills. This level of introspection also helps them connect with others on a deeper level, creating an atmosphere of trust and authenticity. Closely related to self-awareness is emotional intelligence, which encompasses self-regulation, empathy, motivation, and strong social skills. Leaders with high emotional intelligence can manage their own emotions, navigate difficult conversations with tact, and build meaningful, authentic relationships with their teams. They recognize that leadership is not just about strategy and execution, but also about the human element, understanding what drives people, what challenges them, and how to support them effectively. Emotionally intelligent leaders create psychological safe environments where employees feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and concerns, leading to better engagement and collaboration. Another defining characteristic of effective leadership is vision. Great leaders possess a clear sense of purpose and can articulate a compelling vision that motivates and inspires others. They don't just focus on short-term objectives. They think strategically about the future and help their teams to see how their efforts contribute to a larger goal. A strong vision unites people, giving them a sense of direction and purpose. Leaders who have a well-defined vision inspire confidence and foster alignment among their team members, ensuring that everyone is working toward a common goal. They are also adept at communicating this vision in a way that resonates with different audiences, helping to maintain enthusiasm and commitment. In addition to vision, in today's fast-changing world, adaptability is also essential. The most effective leaders can pivot in response to unexpected challenges, remain calm under pressure, and guide their teams through uncertainty without losing momentum. They understand that change is inevitable and that being open to new ideas, solutions, and strategies is key to long-term success. Adaptive leaders are resilient. They're able to analyze evolving circumstances and make strategic adjustments to keep moving forward. They cultivate a culture of agility within their teams, encouraging employees to embrace change rather than fear it. This mindset enables organizations to stay competitive and innovative even in the face of disruptions. Now, integrity is a non-negotiable trait for any leader. Trust is the foundation of effective leadership, and integrity ensures consistency between a leader's words and actions. Leaders who act with honesty, transparency, and fairness earn the loyalty and respect of their teams. Integrity is not just about doing the right thing when it's easy. It's about making principled decisions even when they are difficult. Leaders with integrity stand by their commitments. They take responsibility for their actions and create an ethical work environment. They are willing to admit mistakes and correct them, demonstrating accountability and reinforcing trust within the organization. And finally, communication skills are vital. Leaders must be able to convey their ideas, expectations, and vision clearly, whether in one-on-one conversations, team meetings, or company-wide announcements. However, effective communication isn't just about speaking, it's also about listening. Strong leaders practice active listening, remain open to diverse perspectives, and foster an environment where individuals feel heard and valued. Great communicators also know how to tailor their messaging to different audiences, ensuring that their vision and expectations are clearly understood by all stakeholders. They use storytelling to make their messages more engaging and memorable, building a shared sense of purpose within their teams. So, to briefly recap, we've explored the difference between leadership and management, highlighting how these roles complement each other while serving distinct purposes. We also traced the evolution of leadership theories from early trait-focused models to modern transformational approaches. And finally, we examined the core traits of effective leaders, including self-awareness, emotional intelligence, vision, adaptability, integrity, and strong communication skills. Leadership is not a static quality. It's a dynamic skill that can be cultivated, refined, and strengthened over time. Whether you're an emerging leader or an experienced one, understanding these foundational principles is the first step in your journey to becoming a more impactful and inspiring leader. By continuously developing these traits, you can create a meaningful and lasting influence on your team, your organization, and your broader community. Leadership is not about seeking personal power. It's about serving others, enabling growth, and creating a legacy that extends far beyond individual accomplishments. In the next video, we'll dive into the dynamics of leadership versus authority. We'll explore the difference between simply having power and truly influencing others. You'll learn how to balance authority with respect and discover strategies for building trust and credibility, the true cornerstones of effective leadership. For now, take some time to reflect on your own leadership journey, wherever it may be. Are there areas where you lean more towards management than leadership, or vice versa? And which leadership traits resonate most with your style? And where do you see opportunities for growth? Once you've taken time to reflect on your leadership journey, come back here to join me in the next video, and I'll see you there.